Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Zodiac Bandit. A few weeks ago, Critical Role announced that they were going to be animating the Mighty Nein campaign and making it much like the Legend of Vox Machina animated series, and it got me wondering who is going to play which character in everything, aside from the obvious ones being the cast. So, without further ado, here's my dream casting for all of these characters. Keep in mind, we're going to just assume they can pull off the accents. This is more so who I think would be able to convey the character the best, with the occasional, I just want this person to be this character sort of thing. So, yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to approach this as if no one knows the answers to the campaign. So we're going to be watching it strictly from a animation's viewer eyes, and they don't know the answers. So when a character or two who show up on this list, I say, is there, and we already know who they are, keep that to yourself, because some people haven't necessarily seen the second campaign yet and have only watched Legend of Vox Machina and will watch the Mighty Nein animated TV show, whatever they're going to name it. So we're going to sort of keep that to ourselves, not spoil any of the characters and any of the voices, and yeah, move on. So spoilers ahead, effectively, or I'm going to try to avoid spoilers for those who haven't seen anything. So no spoilers ahead. No spoilers ahead. So, first and foremost, the cast should obviously play the cast. The Mighty Nein should be played by all of their regular voice actors and / players. Simple as that. I don't think I have to go too far into that one. The guest characters who should also show up all should also be voiced by their players. So, literally every guest, there's only 7 guests, I believe, in Campaign 2. So, I don't know if you have to cut any of them out. So, in my opinion, they should all be there. But the ones who should definitely most likely be there is Shikasta, Keg, Neela, and Rini. That leaves Spurt, who should damn well be in there, Twiggy, and Kaliana. Those should be the 3 I think you could probably get rid of. But they're for sure going to put Spurt in there. I highly doubt they'll miss Spurt. And honestly, Twiggy introduces the fun ball, the Happy Time fun ball. So they should for sure keep that in. Kaliana kind of introduces a whole, going after dragon-esque people, but it doesn't get really followed up on. So realistically, you could probably pull her, but I like them all, so they should all show up, and they should all be played by their respective players. So now it's time to address Matt Mercer. I believe he should play a handful of characters, that being Pumat Sol, Orly, Zorth, Essek Thalos, and the Traveler. He should damn well be the Traveler, because that would mean he's in almost every episode, and he'll be able to converse with the players and be in every single conversation, unlike in the Legend of Vox Machina, where he's either some random soldier, some guard, some shopkeep or something, or Umbrasyl. So it would be nice for him to have a much bigger role in all of it. I mean, he did play Umbrasyl and Silas Briarwood, but to be in every episode for him as basically a player character, that is what the Traveler facilitates. And then same with Essek. Essek should obviously be him. That is his DMPC for this campaign, so he should damn well be Essek as well. And there are a few more Matt Mercer potential characters, but there's also somebody else who should be playing that character as well, so they'll be left until later in the list. So now it's time to get on to characters proper, and I'm starting with Marion Lavore, Jester's mother, the Ruby of the Sea. I believe she should be played by Vanessa Marshall, who plays Hera Syndulla in the Star Wars Rebels show, which is what I know her best from. And that Hera character is a very motherly-esque character, which I think will fit very well. And again, we're just assuming these people can properly pull off the same accents that are supposed to be played in the show or in the campaign itself. And if we can't assume that, we might as well just have Matt voice every character, because we know he can. So we're just going to assume every one of these voice actors can properly perform the voices or stand out enough on their own to where we don't care. So Vanessa Marshall, for me, I've known her to play a motherly-esque character, so I think she's a perfect fit here, and she can be a badass when she needs to. So when she needs to put someone in her place as the Ruby of the Sea, she can. So next up on the list is the Gentleman, and I believe he should be played by, and I apologize if I say his last name wrong, Sam Witwer, who plays Darth Maul in Star Wars, who plays Starkiller in the Star Wars Force Unleashed games. And the reason I picked him is because the Gentleman is a calm and composed person until he needs to explode and be angry and pissed off, as he is a underground mob boss essentially. So I feel like Sam Witwer, who is capable of playing a very stoic, calm character who can also explode, will be super necessary here. And I imagine a Darth Maul-esque scream when he yells Kenobi would be super sick coming from the gentleman when he's really pissed off. I think it'd be really fun, really cool. So yeah, Sam Witwer should be the gentleman. I feel like it fits perfectly. So next is Trent Ickathon, the disgusting wizard manipulator himself. I was going to say Gaslighter as well. Gaslighter himself. And I think he should be played by Mads Mikkelsen. Hannibal Lecter himself. I think he is a very deceitful character, gaslighting character, manipulating character. Definitely befitting of a serial killer who hides the fact that he eats people in plain sight. And you know what? I think it's perfect, and Mads Mikkelsen is probably like the least likely out of all of this to sort of show up. But I think it'd be really cool, because I feel like he has a very, I don't want to say unique voice, but it definitely like stands out as like very creepy when he decides to be creepy. So yeah, I think it would be a perfect fit for this character, because Trent Ickathon is fucking creepy. And I'm not going to take full credit for this one. I actually saw someone recommend this on a post somewhere. I forget where it was. But when I saw them say it, I said that is the perfect choice for this. So Trent Ickathon, Mads Mikkelsen, for sure. And next is everyone's favorite Mighty Nein mascot, Kiri, and she should be played by fucking everyone. And I think you can actually do some cool little Easter eggs with Kiri and have her pick up random voices from other characters, like, I don't know, Cash or Zara or any other character who could possibly show up anywhere in the world, and literally just have like voice clips from the campaign or from whatever. It should be played by everybody. Obviously, that's what a Kenku is. They just pick up voices and reuse the sound they hear initially. So I think it'd be really cool, and it'd be a really fun Easter egg for a lot of the random shit that she can say. So yeah, looking forward to Kiri, because she damn well should be in the animated series. It'd be hard to kind of leave her out, especially because like toward the, her section sort of pulls toward the motherly bond that Laura had at the time for the campaign. So definitely need Kiri here, which would be really fun. And as time progresses and they constantly like send messages to her afterwards, we can hear more of these little Easter eggs that I'm cooking up in my head. So yeah, Kiri would be a fun character for everyone to voice, because they just have to use sound clips. And Lorenzo, one of the first confrontational big bads of the Mighty Nein campaign. And obviously this big bastard slave trading motherfucker should be played by another deep-voiced big bastard, Christopher Judge, also known as Kratos, the God of War, because he's awesome, badass, and I think he'll be able to bring a terrifying edge to Lorenzo that he damn well deserves, because Lorenzo is a beast. And so is Kratos, and so is Christopher Judge, and he's an amazing voice actor. He should damn well be, like, Lorenzo should damn well be betrayed by someone so badass. So yeah, Christopher Judge has to be Lorenzo, in my opinion. That is the perfect choice. I disagree with anything else that is said for Lorenzo. It's got to be Christopher Judge. And next is Yusa, the elf wizard who lives high in the tower in the city of Nicodranas, who is a very reoccurring character who could easily be played by Matt Mercer, but I think they should give it to one of their good friends, Robbie Daymond, because Robbie Daymond needs to be in the Mighty Nein series, and he needs to be a reoccurring character, goddammit. He showed up in the Legend of Vox Machina series as a one-off character, literally. I don't think we're ever going to see that character ever again. So give him a reoccurring character, because we all love Robbie. So yeah, Robbie. And next is Avantika, the pirate mistress out on the open seas, who is a badass in her own right. And yeah, she should be played by two badass women. I say two because I have two options here. One, Grey Griffin, after what she did for Delilah Briarwood. I believe she would be able to make a very compelling, twisted, evil, maniacal, backstabbing version of Avantika. And also, if you want to look at it, she also played an excellent Azula in the Avatar series. So I think that would also fit for her being a very twisted, backstabby character. But you can go a totally different route with Avantika and make her a much more badass, powerful woman who's looking to improve her station, and just a badass, mean bitch. And I think Jennifer Hale is the perfect choice for that option if you want to go that way, who voiced the FemShep, who I always play Renegade, because she sounds so badass and mean, and I think it'd be a perfect fit either way. You could be twisted and evil, or you can be badass and evil. So yeah, those two are my options for Avantika. Next is the Plank King, the ruler of Dark Toe, or the leader of Dark Toe, and He's a badass pirate, and he's a Goliath, and he's massive and mean. I think a perfect choice for this would be Darren DePaul. He was also in the Legend of Vox Machina series, but I feel like most people probably know him from the Overwatch series as Reinhardt. So I feel like if you take the deep voice of Reinhardt, drop the accent, that is the Plank King. And I think it'd be perfect. It'd be great. I love Darren DePaul. He's amazing. So I think it'd be a perfect fit. And he should be in more things, because he should be in everything, because he's badass and cool. So Darren DePaul for the Plank King. So next up on this list is Yaza, the husband of not the Braid or Veth Bernato, father of Luke. And this character could obviously be played by Matt Mercer. Again, like I said earlier, Matt can play a million characters, but I think there's an inside joke here, or not an inside joke, but a very Critical Role joke where they could put Liam as Yaza. Now, hang on. Just bear with me for a second about this, okay? So, Liam and Sam, during Campaign 2 specifically, I remember lots of these jokes for Campaign 2, they were like, everyone made jokes about them being secret lovers, and it wasn't so secret, everyone knew it, blah, blah, blah. I think it'd be really funny if they just made Liam Yaza not lover. I think that'd be perfect. I think it'd be hilarious. It'd be an inside joke for all of us fans and for the players and the cast themselves. I think it'd be perfect. Make Liam Yaza. And to sort of bounce off the last entry, Luke, Yaza, and Veth Child should be played by Matthew Mercer. Or if they really want to, they can go find a child actor to play him. But I think Matt would suffice perfectly for this character. So don't think they need to look too far for a child actor. But if they really wanted to, they could. But I think Matt fits better. I don't know. Thinking about voice acting a child is kind of weird. But I guess if Laura Bailey did it for Dragon Ball, then so can Matt for this. Anyway, moving on. So next is Oban, the devil who likes to fuck around and piss people off and steal our favorite characters away from us. But this character should be played by, if not Matt Mercer, Troy Baker. I feel like that's a very fitting person to play this character. And since Matt no longer has to fill the role of being the villain, or at least one villain of every season, because he is now the Traveler and Essek, people who show up rather consistently, we can have someone else play these villains. And I think Troy Baker is a really good fit for Oban. I feel like he can add a nice laugh to him. He can be maniacal. So I think it's going to be a perfect fit. And he can be deadly serious when he absolutely needs to. So, Troy Baker. I think it's excellent. Up to this point, I haven't necessarily said too much about spoilery stuff. I feel like I've just given the names and who I think should voice them, so it's not really a big spoiler. These are characters. This one is a spoiler, so if you haven't watched, skip ahead. This one should only be like, I don't know, a minute long, 2 minutes long, not 2 minutes long. This entry should only be a minute long. So without further ado, Lucian. Yeah, Lucian. And I was torn between who I think should play Lucian. So, Lucian, obviously formerly Mollymauk, needs to either be Talzin Jaffe or Matt Mercer. And I was really torn between picking who it should be, but I've landed on Matt because I think they need to be distinctly different from one another, that being Mollymauk and Lucian. So, I think it needs to be Matt Mercer, so we can tell they are supposed to be completely different people. Simple as that. Moving on to the next one. Technically not moving on to the next one. This was the last one. Moving on to the wrap-up, because I'm dumb. And there you have it, my dream cast for the Mighty Nein series. I sure as shit didn't hit every character in the Mighty Nein show to ever show up. There are hundreds of characters, and to be able to do all of them isn't possible, to the point where even they're not going to be doing all of the characters. They're going to be sure as shit cutting a handful out. So, yeah, I felt like it was important for me to hit the people who I believe are going to be in the show, and for me to sort of leave out a handful of other ones. But I also left out a handful of other people who I believe are easy castings, like Ukitoa should be either Matt or Travis. I think it'd be really cool for Travis to do it, but it'll probably be Matt. And, other characters like that. People who I don't think show up enough, don't warrant one. I did neglect one character who I should have put in, and that was Ludinus. Ludinus does appear in this campaign, so I think Matt or Troy Baker should pick that up. But if I'm being totally honest, I don't know who Matt will play for Campaign 3 when they eventually animate that. So maybe he should be Ludinus, and I'm just going to stick with Matt being Ludinus. So anyway, That's the dream casting for most of the important characters. Let me know what you think down below. Give me your dream casting and any characters that I missed. Leave down below as well. I think it'd be really fun to talk about other characters who we think should play who. And yeah, let's get into that conversation. Anyway, see you guys on Tuesday for the next video. Peace.